Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the oracle cards. I have the overall theme for the reading already pulled, and then we'll be jumping into the tarot deck that I already have shuffled, and then I've already shuffled the decks that I'll be using in the extended as well. Any information for the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Also, it's kind of funny because today you can see my farmer stand line, so enjoy that. Okay, Sagittarius, in your recent past, you have pause with breakthrough here. This was, your recent past was a lot of like being stuck, running in place, it feels like. And it feels like it's all you've wanted is to break out of this energy that you've been through, breakthrough. And I feel like it's almost gotten to the point where it felt impossible for things to change. And that was intentional because I feel like a lot of this energy that's happening, we'll get there in a second, but you have be true to your heart, vulnerability, mask, and authentic expression. All of those cards, they really talk about you becoming and stepping into like the most authentic version of yourself. And in order to do that, sometimes you've got to face some pretty painful experiences to realize this doesn't align with me. This isn't who I want to be. This isn't the life I want to live, so that you can become what you want to attract. And I feel like your recent past, especially, was like just very blessing in disguise type of energy. Now, your current energy, you have show your support with be true to your heart. Now, this is a reminder that you get what you give. I don't know why that's coming through. But it does feel like, this is being true to yourself, being true to your heart. A lot of times we forget that the energy that we give out is going to be the energy that we receive. And if we give out energy of trying to fit in or trying to be what other people want us to be or what society wants us to be, we attract things that aligns with society and other people's ideals, not with our own ideals. So we end up experiencing loss and, lack and like just overall like lack of fulfillment whenever we're kind of investing in what other people want for us instead of what we want for ourselves. And it's a lot about learning that, and I really experienced this in my own world because I used to be financial advisor in the corporate world. Like I fit into that little box of people liked me for for my success and for my intelligence and their kind of world. And when I stepped out of that world and pursued a spiritual path and started doing things like reading tarot for a living, I lost a lot of friends and I lost a lot of people that didn't align with the authentic version of myself. Now, sure, those losses were hard and they separated me from myself for a while, but eventually when I was able to step into my power and realize that, okay, well, this is who I am and I had to embrace it fully, I started attracting people and situations that aligned with me better than anybody that I had lost did. So what I'm getting at is this is about remembering that the more that you step into being absolutely 100% authentically you and standing up for that person, the more that you are going to attract exactly what your heart desires. And it's hard because sometimes we don't even really know what we want because we've gotten so lost in other people's um, ideas and opinions and perceptions of reality that we kind of just take on that throughout childhood and young adulthood, that we never really get a chance to structure our lives in a way that aligns with what we really want because other people have told us that essentially other people have told us what we want. Now, your immediate future, you have vulnerability and amplify your positive emotions. The way that I see this is you've been experiencing not so fun emotions. Like I feel like you've been experiencing just like this heaviness. And I feel like your immediate future and what you're needing to focus on, and this sounds so cheesy, but please bear with me because I promise that it's going to kind of make sense as we pull tarot. The more that you become you And the more that you put out the energy of you don't apologize for your truth, you don't apologize for who you are, and you definitely don't apologize for what you want, and you start to realize that you are very deserving of every single thing that makes you happy, then your positive emotions start to come a little bit more to the forefront, because you're no longer, it's like positive emotions whenever you're kind of living in the shadow of what other people want for you is they're a little bit more like they're fake. They're fake. It's like, you should feel good, but you don't really feel good. It's like you might experience it like on the outside, but inside you're like, I don't really feel good. And the more that you align with yourself and you put that person out there, and again, it is hard because it takes a ton of vulnerability, but the more that you do that, the more that you start to realize that the people and things that you lose by standing up for your own truth are the people that you were supposed to lose in the first place, the people that did not align with your authentic self and with your soul. Because Sagittarius, I'm going to be honest with you here, you've been wearing a mask. You've been putting on a front for the people and situations around you. You've been trying to fit in. You haven't been trying to pave your own way. And I feel like this is a lot about learning that you're never going to be happy that way. You're never going to be happy when you are living the life that other people have told you you need to live. Now, if you're in a point right now where you're like, well, I don't even really know what I want. I know I'm not happy with where I'm at, but I don't know what's going to make me happy. Honestly, that's the first step. That's the first step to the breakthrough of figuring out how to live the life that you want, is realizing that you are living a life that you do not want. And the more that you set your intention to get there and to align with your authentic self, the more that you will. So let's start Aquarius. Why do I keep wanting to say Aquarius? This is definitely all shuffled for Sagittarius, but I keep wanting to say Aquarius. Recent past for Sagittarius. Looking at breakthrough and pause. What was Sagittarius dealing with in their recent past? Recent past for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know about their recent past? Ooh. You were avoiding something that needed to come to an end. Something that you know doesn't align with you anymore. Can I get more on this? Something that you know doesn't align with you anymore. Maybe it did at one point, but it doesn't anymore. More for Sagittarius. Yeah, because it doesn't allow you to put yourself first with the Empress in reverse here. It doesn't allow you to choose yourself and to choose your own needs, desires, and values. And I feel like there's a part of you that knows on a pretty deep level that this isn't meant for you. But there's been like this avoiding of that. And I feel like maybe things were moving forward with this thing, but then they stopped. They stopped moving forward because there was a need for you to realize that this wasn't actually what you wanted. That there's something a lot more meant for you. But it's almost like you're not going to be able to figure out what that is until you step away from what doesn't align with you. Reset past for Sagittarius. So there's this kind of avoiding this truth that something wasn't really meant for you. It's something that doesn't, because you have the Hermit in reverse or the Emperor in reverse, it like doesn't allow you to be you. That's the biggest thing. It's almost like I remember when I was a financial advisor, before I stepped onto this path of tarot and spirituality, I had, and I would say this to people, I had financial advisor Gabby, and I had like Gabby, like who I was. Like it was like I was a certain person when I was in my financial advisor hat, and I was a completely different person when I was in just like my regular self hat. And I started to realize that that wasn't even it. I was a different person with different friend groups. I was a different person around my family. I was a different person around my significant others. Like I literally didn't know who I was, and I adapted to whatever was around me. Now, I just say that to say that sometimes we don't realize that things take away from our ability to be our most authentic self. But whatever this is that you were dealing with in your recent past, it didn't allow you to be you. There was a part of you that felt like you needed to be different than who you are in order to be involved in this. It's like you were adapting to your circumstances instead of creating them. Recent past for Sagittarius, please. Recent past for Sagittarius, please. The Death in reverse. It's like you knew this needed to come to an end. Like you knew it on some level, but you were having trouble fully allowing that to happen. Can I get more on this energy? Because you have the well here. The well is one of two additional major arcanas in this deck, and it's kind of like the process of allowing. It's like you were having trouble allowing change, because I feel like with something coming to an end, a lot of change would take place in your life, and that's ultimately what you're afraid of. Were afraid of, at least in your recent past. Okay, yeah, I don't need any more cards. I figured it out. So there was something that needed to end, something that needed to come to, because you knew it didn't align with you. Because it didn't allow you to be you. It didn't allow you to put yourself first. Let's get some more for Sagittarius's current energy. Switch gears here, because you have be true to your heart, show your support. That's kind of that energy of what you give is what you get. Current energy for Sagittarius. One more. Okay, no. I knew that. All right, current energy for Sagittarius, please. To me, this feels like you're working on building, like maybe it's like rebuilding or even just building your life with a place of like a closed heart. Like something has almost turned you cold in a way. Not that you're cold, I feel like you're a very warm person, but I feel like there's this energy of like something, there's no passion in this energy. There's no excitement. It's just kind of like going through the motions day in and day out. And it's because there's this attachment to something. It's like you're attached to something, and I don't really know why. Because it's very obvious to you, or I guess because this is me trying to read the subconscious, it's very obvious to you on a subconscious level that this wasn't meant for you. Current energy here for Sagittarius. Okay, now these came out the other way. So I was reading those the wrong way, because you have the Queen of Swords and the Devil in reverse. I still get that like going through the motions energy. This has a lot to do with the way that you speak and communicate. Because then you have the Page of Swords, which is more communication. It's like I don't feel, Sagittarius, you're speaking from a place of authentic. That's why you have authentic expression. But what is that? What is that? I want to know what that's affecting. I want to know what that is affecting for you. How is this affecting Sagittarius? It's a blockage. All right, I'm going to want more on this, because that is, it's like you're trying to be what you think everyone else wants you to be. And you know what, Sagittarius? I don't even know if you are fully aware of this. It's like you're trying to fit in instead of pave your own way. And not like, that's not, you're a human being. Of course you are. It's just, it feels like that's why you've been experiencing this like lack of fulfillment here. But it has a lot to do with the way that you interact with the world around you. Current energy here for Sagittarius. Current energy for Sagittarius. I have a story to tell really quick, and then I'm going to clarify that because it keeps coming to me, and I just feel like I need to say it. When I the second time stopped, like left my corporate world job, which was real estate this time, not financial advising, and decided to pursue tarot again, I kept it under like on deal. Like I didn't tell anybody in my life. My mom knew and my significant other knew, but nobody else knew because I know how it's viewed, right? I know what it is I'm doing and I know how I help people. But, to people who aren't in the spiritual world, this is freaking crazy. It's crazy to leave a stable job to pursue tarot as a path, especially like an online tarot reader. Like, it's crazy to people. And I eventually was like, you know what? I just need to put it out there because it was like weighing on me. It was like weighing on my heart. Like people would ask me what I do, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm a life coach," or like, I would beat around the bush. It's not that I necessarily lie, but I wouldn't be honest about what I did, and it started like eating at me, and I didn't like it because it felt like I was lying. I wasn't being authentic, and when I was so worried about like this is dumb, but posting on social media because that was the way that I was going to tell people that's what I did. So worried about this, and I contemplated it for the longest time, and finally I just did it. I wrote a post just kind of explaining my journey from financial advising into tarot the first time, and then away from it, and to back to real estate, and then to tarot the second time, here to stay this time. And I literally have made since then like 3 insanely good friends off of that post because I attracted people that were open to it, and I lost a couple of people. There were a couple of people in my life that were like, she's crazy now, and kind of just like backed away from me, and that was okay because I attracted the people that did align with me, and those friendships have been so much better than anything that I lost. And I say that not to say that it's the same situation with you, but to say that the more that we put our authentic selves out there, the more that we allow the people and situations that we're looking for to find us. It's the way that I found my significant other too, because when we first met, I was like, I'm just going to be myself. And I just straight up told him everything. I used to be a tarot reader. Like here's all of my trauma, like, not like trauma dump, but like I was very honest with him. And he was very honest with me, and it built our connection very, it attracted him from the get-go. So what this reading is basically saying is if you're looking for things that align with you, if you're looking for paths that fulfill your soul, find the deepest part of yourself that you need to align with in order to attract those things, and start putting it out there. It's going to be scary and it might feel embarrassing, but it's going to attract more than you're going to lose. Clarifying this 8 of Wands for Sagittarius's current energy. The 3. Okay, yeah. So this literally is like you've kind of, Sagittarius, been like hiding out in your comfort zone a little bit. I feel like there's a part of you that maybe like if you started a spiritual path, you're not being honest with that about people. Like it's like who you are behind closed doors is extremely different than who you are when you're in front of people. And I feel like that you don't realize that within itself is like the root of the issue, because it's keeping you from being able to find the path to your abundance that you're looking for anyway. I hope this makes sense. I know this is a little bit of a different read. I feel like Sagittarius's reads have been a little out there recently, but all right, immediate future for Sagittarius, you have amplify your positive emotions with vulnerability. Immediate future for Sagittarius, clarifying amplify your positive emotions with vulnerability. This is Sagittarius's immediate future. If you're looking for situations that make you happy, you're going to have to be vulnerable. That's what this is saying. All right. This is an interesting message, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. You're a little too concerned about how you look to other people. I don't know why that's coming through. You have the King of Pentacles in reverse. This can be focused too much on the material. You have the Artist. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse, which can talk about like running or distracting. It feels like there's this energy of like too concerned of other people's opinions of you. And that's keeping you from being able to be like 100% yourself. We've all been there, especially in this day and age of like social media and stuff. I used to be like, my entire world used to revolve around other people's opinions of me. So please, there is absolutely no judgment here. Um, and I still struggle with it. I still struggle with walking into a room and realizing that confidence, true confidence, it doesn't come from a place of like, I'm better than everyone else. It comes from a place of I'm super secure in who I am. And if other people don't like me, there's nothing I can do about that. And, that level of confidence, I literally cannot tell you how freeing it is. I mean, and I still struggle with it. There are some rooms I walk into and I'm like, ooh, like like I could just you feel it. You know when people are judging you. Especially when I talk about being a tarot reader and stuff. Like I know it, I can tell, and sure, it still affects me sometimes. But the more that you can be like authentically you, the more that you will realize that the people that don't align with that do not matter. And I feel like that's ultimately what a lot of this reading is saying is I feel like there's a part of you that's been staying in situations, maybe even friendships or just overall, yeah, like situations with people that just do not fit your authentic self. But to you, it's like, well, I'd rather have these than have nothing. But those things are keeping you from being able to have what it is that aligns with you. Immediate future for Sagittarius. Interesting. Ten of Swords in reverse, Ten of Pentacles on the Strength card. This is like a very healing energy. And this is literally saying that your confidence is what's going to create your abundance. So it's almost like let go. I know this isn't as easy, but let go of what hasn't worked out for you and realize that it hasn't worked out for you because it hasn't been meant for you. And then find and work on building this confidence to pursue what is meant for you. And even if you just set that intention and start asking for guidance, universe, I ask for guidance on the path to pursuing what is meant for me. Those doors will start to open. But there's this need to not focus so much on what has gone wrong and realize that things haven't worked out because they haven't aligned with you. And the more that you step into this confidence, this like authentic version of you, and that happens through healing. The more that you heal, the more that you realize that the more that mask comes off, because the more that you realize you are not here to please anybody. You are here to be happy, to live your life, and to do the best you freaking can. And that it does not matter what other people think of you because their judgment of you is judgment of themselves, right? And I feel like the more that you step into that, the more you're going to start to watch the doors open that are going to lead you to the abundance that you're looking for in situations that didn't align with you in any way. Immediate future for Sagittarius. Immediate future for Sagittarius. You're wanting stability. You're so focused on your material stability, but it's interesting because there's a part of you that thinks that that's going to make you happy, any happier than you are right now, and that's just not the case. You're not, nothing in this material world can provide you with the happiness that you provide yourself within. You hear it everywhere. And that might be hard to really understand what that means. And honestly, there's not a way that I can really put it into words. But it comes down to realizing that when you have so much confidence in yourself, and that comes with faith in the universe, and you know that the universe is always providing you with what is best for you, and therefore every loss you face is an opportunity for a gain of something better, and every situation that doesn't work out your way is working out in a better way for you, the more that you can start to think in that way, the more freedom you experience. It's not that your life gets easier. It's that how you handle it becomes, it's how you handle, you become stronger. And that makes it easier. You still face challenges, you still face financial struggles, you still face relationship issues, but they don't impact you so much because you can look at them from a different perspective. And so what I'm getting at is don't focus so much on the material. Don't focus on the like what you have or don't have, or what other people have that you don't have. Like, don't focus on that as much as you can, and try to redirect your focus to your confidence, to your inner world, to becoming the most authentic version of yourself, and not being afraid to put that person out there. Because I promise you, you will watch, if you're able to do that, you will watch miracles happen in your life. Like, I cannot put it into words, but it's pretty incredible whenever you start to attract things that you know in your soul are meant for you. That you go from being like, maybe this is meant for me, I don't really know, to like, oh my gosh, where has this been my whole life? Um, it's it's the most incredible experience. I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you. So I do want that for you. I want that for everyone, you know? So I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you. I know this was a little bit different. So I do hope that this resonated with someone out there. Thank you guys so much, as always, for the support of my channel. And I do I do wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Sagittarius. This thing has been so weird today. Okay, bye. Never mind.